Welcome back to Fridays live on Facebook, where Vicki talks to herself until you guys log on and help me out with this. So I hope you had a great week. I had a fantastic one. Boy, did it go fast. The energy seems to be speeding along and just taking us with it, I think, which can be fun. Requires a bit more presence and deep breathing and all of that if you're willing to do it. So I thought what I would do this week is answer some of the questions I got kind of behind the scenes of what happens in a session, what to expect, why people even come in. So in the individual sessions, which yes, I am still doing, I do the coaching, but the individual sessions, I don't know that I could ever give that up. They're so much fun, as well as, let's face it, from a business perspective, they bring people into the coaching. So in an individual session, when someone comes in, besides the greeting and all of that, what happens is I start to do what I call the download. And I tap into someone's energy field and all of the bodies that exist outside of our physical one. And I connect with what's going on in your particular journey. Now, this does include the past. I can see the future. What you do with your energy definitely is imperative there, because me seeing something doesn't mean that it's going to happen. You actually have to put your energy behind it. So what that means when somebody's here is, for me, I will often feel the discord that's going on with them. And it could be on an emotional level, it could be in their job, relationships, physically, something going on there that we need to look at. Hey, Amy. And once I've done that and got the scan of it, so to speak, I often hear what their soul is saying. We all have the soul. The soul is eternal. It knows a lot. I don't know why we're working so hard as humans when we have this wealth of information available to us at the soul level. So the soul is inherent in all of us, and it's here. We come into the physical experience to be able to line up the soul with our physical self and create what I think is a pretty dynamic duo. So it takes courage to be able to listen to it. So a lot of the times people are coming in because I can connect with their soul and I can hear what is happening there and what's in their soul's desire place when often it can't get through to their human self. So that's the part I love the most. So what happens? Well, the first 5 or 10 minutes, I usually do a lot of talking. Can you imagine me, a good talker? Who would have guessed? And that's like the download of getting all the information, telling you what your soul is telling me. Hello, Beth. And Sharon. And then I go from there to what may be most pertinent in what are you hanging on to that you need to get rid of. And sometimes it's something that happened decades ago that you're not even you don't even have in your consciousness. And then we go in and we either repattern it, or sometimes by me bringing it up, the emotions come up, and then it can be released. And I feel like that external help is what's largely been a part of my success in business, because I believe we are all amazing creatures, amazing beings. And while we may not always know what we want on a cognitive level, we always know it in our heart and in our soul. So then I often will say to someone, so how can I help you? What did you want to look at? I used to do the talking for the full hour, and trust me, I am still capable of that. But I find it to be much more effective when it's interactive, because somebody's contributing their energy, and I'm not here to prove that I can psychically read something. I'm here to help someone be the best that they can within themselves and learn to love themselves. That's my skill. So people come back on a coaching basis, because if you're building on this and you truly want to know who you are, there's a curiosity that happens. And when you start to shift some of these old belief systems and things that you're thinking that just aren't lining up with who you are any longer, there's empowerment in that, and I hope a pride. I'm a big proponent to my clients of patting themselves on the back, because I don't think there's enough of this done in a truly authentic self-love perspective. I think there's a lot of, patting ourselves on the back for stuff we don't really believe, and that is just bravado to me. So the sessions may wander through the intuitive, me looking at your screen and seeing what's going on. And the reason I use screen is it really does look like there's a movie screen on the inside. Hi, Sue. On the inside of my forehead, and that's what I'm staring at. So, and when I feel someone's got some pain in there that needs to shift, I will bring up, the stuff out of my Mary Poppins bag of all the trainings in order to help them shift it. And it's not therapy, it is therapeutic. So that's the gist. So the individual sessions are there. You can sign on for coaching 6 months, 12 months. I've had some people with me for years because they really are that dedicated to themselves. This isn't a quick fix, this life thing. We have to have a little bit of patience and I think a little bit of humor in who we are and how we're wired and how we got here. So if you have been, I had somebody tell me that they've been putting it off for 5 years and coming in because they've been scared. I truly hope, one, I'm not going to bite you. Although I haven't had lunch today, so I'm kind of hungry. So my 3 o'clock might be in a little bit of danger. We'll see what happens there. But when you come in, I hope that others will share the fact that the information will be delivered kindly. Yes, sometimes I am incredibly blunt, but that also opens up the door. Sue is asking, if you have a message coming, would you go to the person and let them know if you were walking down the street or anywhere? No, I won't. Like I said last week, I don't read without permission. Some stuff might drop in, but I would never approach someone because I think that's rude. And you don't know where they are emotionally. So when you're coming to my office, even though stuff may get churned up, I promise you I'm not letting you walk out that door until I know you're in a good emotional space. And, I don't want my gynecologist walking up to me talking about my wahoo in public. So no, I don't want to walk up to someone and do all of that. I think it's an integrity thing. I know that there are TV shows that do this, but I also know a lot of people in the entertainment industry, and people have to sign off on what they're agreeing to be filmed about. So, no, I'm not going to Long Island medium you. It's not going to happen. So thanks for asking, though. And a lot of the times, whatever drops in is none of my business, and the person could just be processing something, and that's important to give space for someone to process that. So no, I'm not going to do it. I figure I have done this. Like if I'm pumping gas and I hear something, or in the bank line or grocery line, it's usually when it's something I don't have to pay too much attention to, and I get a message, what I do is then send that back up to the guides and angels of that person, and I will say, if I'm truly the one that can help them, get them to my office. And I've had people come in and say that I was stalking them everywhere they went. They found my business card. Or people would say, because I work largely word of mouth until this technology comes along, I've had people say, well, I heard your name like 6 times and decided I better get in here to find out whatever the message is. So thank you, Sue. And I hope it is respectful. That's one of the things that I hold a very high bar for myself. around that, because I don't ever want to get what I call a fat head, because I truly believe everybody has this ability, whether it's connecting to those who have crossed, whether it's hearing their own voice or feeling, communicating with animals. It's all there. It's our first sense. It's not our sixth sense. It just got put to the back because it scared somebody. So along those lines, the intuitive development class is being opened up for January 27th in my new location, 2 Federico Drive. And that's a class where I take a group through actually developing your own intuition, because we all read differently. However I perceive energy is not going to be the same as, you know, anyone else in the world, because it goes off of my wiring and my soul's path and whatever I did in the past life to be able to do this in this lifetime. So the intuitive development classes work as a group, and there are 2 classes. The first one will be January 27th and the second is February 24th. You do sign up for both of them at the same time, one price. And it's a combination of learning who you are and then actually playing with the energy and the ability to perceive energy. So it's not a come in and just learn how to read cards or use a pendulum or anything like that. I figured out over the last few years that if you truly want to develop and know who you are and build some skills, sure, around energy reading, great, absolutely do that. We have to be willing to answer some of the questions that are inside, some of the programming from childhood, from society. So there is some digging, a little deep digging going on in these courses. So it's not come in, spin your head, do an attunement, and out the door you go. They've been put together pretty intentionally, well, very intentionally on my part. And then if the group wants to move forward, or anyone in the group, you don't have to stay in if you don't want to, they will then move to the second module. And I have one group right now who is going into their 5th module on this. And we've done everything from telepathy to angel card readings to being able to perceive colors with your eyes closed. They can tell you what the other things are if they log on. In the meantime, they've also discovered that they're pretty amazing people already, and anything that we're adding to the repertoire of who they are is wonderful, and then they can go out and bring that out into the world, because I truly believe the more calm and centered and loving we are towards ourselves, that we will then give that message out and be of service in this world. So that's the intuitive development class. It's on the website, it's on Facebook. You do need to contact me if you want a spot. Don't just like Facebook and assume you're going to have a chair, because I close them at different numbers for each class, because I want to make sure that I'm giving a good service and not just filling chairs. So I'll put an extra class in if it gets oversold. When it gets oversold, not if, when. Haha. So, manifesting. So the vision board class, February 10th. This is probably one of the most fun classes that we do. And the first part of it is explaining the law of attraction and how what we're feeling impacts what we create in our life. And then the second part is a vision board class where we separate out Mary Berry and Stephanie, and you actually work on what you would like to create for this next 6 months, year. I do them a couple times a year. It's so much fun. There's reverence involved, maybe a little bit of intuitive direction from me wandering around the room and handing you a quote or a picture. It's a great big arts and crafts get together with the intention of the group does amplify what you would like to create. So that's on February 10th. It's a 2-hour class. I plan 2.5. It rarely stops on time. Well, then drive into town, Miss Johnson. March 10th is the Realms class, and this is the one that people ask all the time for, and I love that people are asking, and I have people that come back for each class because they experience it differently each time. The realms class is where I jack the energy in the room, quite frankly, and I take you, my head's buzzing when I talk about jacking the energy, my crown chakra starts to open. So what we do is we go through the fairy realm, spirit guides, I explain all these realms too, and then, you know, ascended masters, and just play all in there, because if you come into an environment where you can trust that energetically, I got your back, no riffraff getting in, you may let yourself release and to play and experience that, you know, that feather or that twitchy thing that you feel on your face is really a message. It's not just a twitch. So, hey, Miss Cal. So, the Realms class is March 10th, and that's a lot of fun. Wear comfy clothes. We often end up sitting on the floor and stretching out to do the meditation. So, hi, Karen. Say hi to the crew over there. So, those are some of the ways that you can actually develop your own wiring system, because I truly believe we can all get this stuff. And while I'm happy to be of service, I really love teaching other people how to do it themselves. The other bonus is it brings a peacefulness to life. So especially, you know, when we're walking around in this holiday season where the focus can be pulled away from connecting and appreciating and embracing the abundance in love, not stuff. Nobody needs more stuff. Stop with the stuff. Do experiential gifts and connect with people. During this time, like any time in your life when there's a lot of ups and downs, as life often brings, knowing that you have that soul and you have this eternal soul, that yes, this stuff is important, but everything is so transient, it takes the pressure out of being human, and it actually makes it a lot of fun. So it's kind of nice to know that you have your own back. So during this holiday season, I hope you take some breaths, sign up for some classes, connect with those you love, and bring that peace within so that we can all start emanating out. So to those of you in the group who are doing the Runner's World Streak, we are on day 23, and I'm a little bit more sore from legs day at the gym, thank you Justin, than I am from the running. And it's amazing what this habit is creating within me, which is a commitment to self. Oh, Krista's in the running group. So she just logged on. Hi. So whatever it is, if it's that cup of tea with yourself every day, if it's the workout, if it's the snuggling with your puppies, Mary, if it's giving your kid a hug every day, set something there for that intention, because that will bring you back to center. So, yes, I thought you had taken the class, Kelly, but I couldn't remember, so I didn't want to call you out on it. You know, that's that integrity thing. Keep your mouth shut about anybody who's attended. So I have to go to my next session. Thank you so much for popping in. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and more. And send in some ideas of what you want to hear about, what I could share, what questions you have, because I'd be so happy to give at least what I know. And that's all I can do from Vicky's view. So, hey, a little poet there. All right, take care. Got to be on time for the next session. Bye.